Let's get into the strategy.
The main thought process is I don't want to sell to them. Kind of sounds strange because you want them to be your customer, but there is a strategy behind it because I will.
What are some of the mistakes you made when you first started doing cold outreach?
What I told earlier, I think that's the most important one. Just don't try to push your.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to SalesRobot Customer of the Week, a new show where we interview the top 1% of SalesRobot users and go deep into their process with hot tips around targeting, messaging, personalization, and copywriting so that you can take away some tips and implement in your cold outreach starting tomorrow. Today on the show, we have Bas, who's our customer of this week. Welcome to the show, Bas.
Thank you very much.
So let's get right into it. What does your company do and what kind of business model do you have?
So in a short sentence, we sell interlocks so people don't drive under the influence. And that's what we do to like normal people. So I sold one last week to a grandma and she was driving a lot with a drink too much. And she told me I need some help with it because I can't help it and I do not know when I have too much. And I've sold one like 2 weeks ago with a father whose son was driving drunk many times and he said, okay, now it's enough and you need help. But also to like transport companies and construction companies who have a lot of people and a lot of vehicles, and that's are like the two main businesses.
Makes a ton of sense. So I'll not bury the lead. Obviously, you had a great campaign, which is why you're here. So I'll just share my screen and take everybody through the campaign, and then you can talk me through your strategy behind the campaign. Sounds good?
Yes, sounds good.
Perfect. So these are the numbers, obviously super impressive numbers. You've got an acceptance rate of roughly 19%, 18.45, and then a really high reply rate of almost 61%, which is very high, right? Like the average reply rate is close to 20 to 30%. So first of all, congrats on this campaign.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's get into the strategy. Who were you targeting with this? Like, what was the target list?
With this one, the target list was transport companies and those who have rights in the company. So let's say a owner or a manager or a fleet manager. So a more senior function. And it's basically focused on transport only. So truck transportation, such as those companies like postal services.
Got it. Targeting is strictly around transportation and then decision-making authority. So they're senior. Makes a ton of sense. Let's look at the messaging copy. So I had a look at the copy before and I believe this is like, what language is this, by the way? This is Dutch, right?
It's Dutch. So I won't like translate everything.
I actually put it on Google Translate before this, so we can actually go through it. So this is the very first message.
That's great.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
What was the thought process?
The first one is just trying to see common ground because I only want to target transport companies. And if some people have switched jobs but didn't put it on LinkedIn yet, so I can target people that are not in this business anymore. And in this way, I have some sort of a common ground. And the question is like really easy. I saw you work in this branch, and is it true that you still work here? So it's an easy question to answer with yes or no.
Right.
And I see that a lot of people are accepting it. So
Makes sense. So because this is almost like a qualifying question, and what I like here is that you have a element of doubt. It's not like you're saying that, yeah, you work here in logistics. You're asking like, is it true that you still work here? Like if they say yes, then you can, start a conversation with them.
exactly. Yes.
Perfect. Makes sense. Okay, let's get into the first message after you connect. What is the thought process here?
The main thought process is I don't want to sell to them. And it kind of sounds strange because you want them to be your customer, but there is a strategy behind it. Let's say that you are my ideal customer and I want to sell to you. Nobody likes to receive those messages like buy from me or I need your time. Let's hop into a call for like 15 minutes when I do not know you.
Yeah.
So the main thought process is like, I have this product, and the main question I ask them, I want some reviews on my product. Do you know anybody who might benefit from this? Mostly of the times they say maybe no, but I do know this company that you can reach out to with their recommendation. I can send them a email or a message asking them like, hey, this person said that you guys might be interested in a free trial of my product.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a brilliant strategy. In fact, there was a study on this strategy, right? Where rather than asking if you are interested, you just ask, like, do you know anyone who might find this valuable? Like, using this strategy, you get a 10% higher reply rate in absolute terms, which is massive, right? Because rather than trying to make a sale, this is actually the best way to sell because you're not asking to for them to buy anything, you're not asking for their time, like you said. And finally, when you're asking for something, all you're asking is, do you know anyone, right, who might find this valuable? So I think this is a brilliant and proven strategy. Lots to learn from this message.
Yeah, I think that's also the main point of view of my campaign is just not push them with unwanted messages and just think for yourself, what do I want to get? What is nice to get in my message box? I do not like someone trying to sell me a product or service that I maybe don't want or need. And they just send 5 or 6 spam messages and I just don't read it.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, let's get into the next one then. What was the thought process here?
I know that a lot of people just click and just go away. Might be that it's not a very long message, but it's a quiet message. So I want to see if I have some common ground. And most people in this branch are like very busy. So I just wanted to check if you saw my previous message. It's not pushy. It's not that I want something from them.
Yeah.
And then just rewriting the same question and just asking them if they know anybody.
Yeah, I think this is essentially a very good rewrite, slightly shorter and then slightly rephrased. I wanted to see how long you wait between the messages. So I think you have one and then you're waiting 2 days, which is the perfect reminder, and which is why your response rate on this one is almost the same as this one, which makes sense, right? Because people who were interested in this and wanted to reply should roughly be half of the people who just got busy, right? It's like they were open to it, but they just got busy.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at message number 3 now after connecting.
Yeah, I'm just asking the same question and stating a fact that many fleets have a risk from alcohol related incidents. So I'm showing them why it's important that basically they help me out.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah, so it's the same message, shorter and stating a fact. I put that one also 3 days after the second one.
Yeah.
But I think if you put it like 5 days or 7 days, I would like to test it out if you have like a little bit more time between, because now I believe it's every 3 days I send a message. It could be a bit much. So I think, and I want to test it out. Maybe I can show it the results on maybe a next podcast.
Yeah.
If I do it in 5 days or maybe in 7 days, because now you send a message every 3 days and maybe that's a bit too much.
Yep. No, I think it's a good thing to test. What I also like about this message is that you make it seem like it was not automated, because you say things like, I was thinking of you because you work in the transport sector, and you also sort of state the problem in this line, right? Like, many fleets are unnecessarily at risk from alcohol related accidents. So I really like this kind of phrasing, because in the first 2 sentences you make it like not automated, and 2 like why it's important. Let's look at the final message, the breakup message in that sense.
Yes. So like we stated already that those people are quite like busy already. So I don't want to waste their time, but I still want my name in their like LinkedIn box. So that's why I chose 4 messages and not 5 or 6 or more.
And you also send it 7 days later. So I guess this is a good way to just, like ease off after sending like 3 messages in 7 days.
Exactly. And I might have a 6th step where I just send one more message maybe 2 or 3 months later. that could be an optimization because you are then still in the cycle.
Makes sense. Do you remember like how many actual results you got out of this in terms of like people wanting to talk to you or signing up for a case study?
No, not particularly from this. I do talk to a lot of people, and oftentimes they know someone or he knows. So I don't have an exact number to give, unfortunately. I do think these numbers are nice. Do want to say if you have this many responses, you need to try to follow it up. Sometimes I just forget to respond and I just like respond a bit too late. 5 days or 6 days later, and then you lost the connection you had or the conversations you already had. So my advice is if you do this, try to follow up it quite quickly.
Yeah. And one more thing I wanted to sort of highlight that I didn't highlight before is you can actually filter by just like Netherlands. I think you were going after a very, very broad audience. You weren't just focusing on the Netherlands. So I think that way you would have, like transportation companies just in Netherlands who would be a higher hit rate, right? Like in that sense, because they're local.
I do think so, yeah. I think I believe I also have a targeting of like my second rate of connections. So I don't target third ones because like nobody in my network have them as a connection. So it's, yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Now let's get into your journey a little bit. What are some of the mistakes you made when you first started doing cold outreach?
I think what I told earlier, just I want to sell a product, and I think that you need to think about what do I like to receive in my message box. I think that's the most important one. Just don't try to push your message and just think a little bit about what do I like to receive.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, let's get into the final question of the day. What are you excited about trying to further improve your cold outreach?
What I said, the last message to maybe 7 days, or the third one, I believe, a little bit more stretched out.
Yes.
Also yeah, exactly. And maybe one more message after maybe a month or 2 months that they will see my name again. And although the reply rate is 60%, 40% did not reply. And if you send 1,000 messages, you still have 400 people that might be a good lead are not responding. So in that way, I can like retarget the last 40%.
That's awesome. Now this obviously was a very good campaign, and I think you're doing a phenomenal job with this product. I think this is a very, very needed product. Drunk driving is a big problem. So we really commend you for, trying to solve this. So that is all the time we have today on this podcast. For the people who want to find out more about you online and join your journey, where can they find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. It's a Dutch word, Slot Auto, but you will see it everywhere. Just go follow my company. I would love to do so.
Awesome. Thank you so much for showing the time, and we wish you all the best for all your future campaigns.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Awesome.